We know that distracted driving is just a horrible challenge in every state, in every city in this country. My next guest, Arriale Tabson, is with the Tennessee Highway Safety Department. Thank you for coming in.
Yes, thank you for having me.
And we know distracted driving, it's not just about being on your cell phone, is it?
There are many forms of distracted driving. It's not just texting, and that's also important to address because in different states there are different laws, so the driver behavior can vary. But distracted driving comes in three forms: cognitive, visual, and manual, which means that if your eyes are not on the road, if your hands are not on the steering wheel, and if your mind is not focused on driving, then you are distracted or potentially distracted. And texting and driving can be extremely dangerous because that involves all three forms.
Mm-hmm. You know, you don't think about that. You just think about people are on their phone or they're texting, doing whatever. But you can be thinking about that list or eating in your car, drinking something, you spill something, you reach over and boom.
If you have children in the vehicle, pets in the vehicle, anything really that is drawing you away from focusing on the steering wheel, that's why cell phone use is such a horrible form of distracted driving, because even when you're not on your phone, you could potentially be distracted thinking about that phone call you're trying to make, or messing with your GPS, or oh, did I text that person back, checking your phone constantly. That addiction that we tend to have to our devices really takes our mind away, and that's what's really detrimental.
So what should you do? Really put your phone away when you get in the car, right? Well,
the first 5% of your drive is when you're most likely to be distracted. So really you want to plan ahead and make sure that whatever you're going to handle gets handled before you get in the vehicle. So a lot of people tend to do their makeup once they're getting in the car, or they're still trying to deal with children in the back when they need to be properly restrained prior to exiting the driveway. People get fumbled and try to set their GPS while they're driving. All of that needs to be handled before you even get into motion and leave your driveway, and just make sure that whatever it is you're needing to do, whether it's a phone call or what have you, that it's done preferably outside of the vehicle. Just get your mind clear and just ready to focus.
That is so important. I've never heard anyone describe it with that 5% figure.
Yes.
And what you just said. So how many crashes are caused by distracted driving? I know this is probably going to blow us away.
Well, in 2018, there were 24,607 distracted driving crashes, and 58 of those were fatal. So that's 24,607 crashes that were all preventable. And when you think about a crash, it's not just impacting that individual, you're also impacting whoever you hit, or the damage that you're doing, whether it's property damage or damage to the roadway, creating more issues. And also you think about the way it impacts healthcare and your job and the monetary issues there. So you just don't want to cause a crash in any form or fashion, especially if it's a preventable one.
And have to live with that. Let's say you survive, but someone else is injured, permanently disabled, and to live with that, to live with that the rest of your life, and for that person that you injured. What are the laws in the state regarding distracted driving?
Yes. Well, to be specific, Tennessee Code Annotated Title 55, Chapter 8, Part 199.
How do you remember all of that?
How to memorize it. I wanted to be very particular. That specific law addresses texting and driving. Mind you, in Tennessee, we don't have an overarching distracted driving law. Our law is specific to the mobile phone use in a vehicle. You're prohibited from sending or receiving a message using a mobile device while the vehicle's in motion, while you're driving. So you'll notice that that law is very specific to mobile phone use. However, it doesn't necessarily address it does address hands-free, but it doesn't require us to be hands-free. So you'll see that there have been some changes where if you're in a school zone or you're of a certain age, you can't be texting and driving. But in Tennessee, we don't have a law that addresses distracted driving in all facets and prohibiting those devices altogether.
Let's talk about the addictive nature of distracted driving and using your phone. Elaborate on that, because we know it's an issue.
There's a new trending concept called the addictive app trade, and what that means is tech industries are using coding to influence human behavior and users of the mobile devices. So this addiction especially is prevalent with social media. Social media is like a slot machine. Once you start, you can't stop, right? So
true.
This computer coding, the way it influences our behavior is compelling us to go back to the device and repeat, right? So that behavior is called variable reinforcement. And what that means is there is a trigger, an action, and a reward. The trigger is when Facebook sends you that notification. The action is you opening the app, and then your reward is that dopamine release you get when you get the like, or you get a comment, or you get some form of interaction within the app, and then it repeats, and it's a cycle where you're and that's where the term the addiction comes in, because even when you're not receiving a notification, you're thinking about it. And you're wanting to pick up your phone.
So let's talk about this. Cell phone blocking apps.
Yes.
What can we do?
There are some apps out there that a lot of companies actually use because they don't want their employees to be texting while driving because it's a liability issue. We know that the Apple feature has the do not disturb while driving feature, right? But not all devices have that. So there's apps like Lifesaver, Safe Drive, AT&T Drive Mode, Cell Control, and Text Limit. These apps can lock your device once the car begins moving, or it can disable your device if you begin texting. Some of them can also silence your phone if you're doing incoming text. There are a lot of features there.
All right, you have so much good information. Here's another interview. I could talk to you for another hour about this. Thank you for very important life-saving information.
Yes.
Appreciate it very much. And thanks to all of you for watching Community Health Matters. You can learn more ways to improve your health on our website, mycommunityhealthmatters.org, and check out our new podcast by searching Community Health Matters on iTunes, Google Play, or Spotify. And remember, here in Middle Tennessee, our community health matters.